everybody. Welcome to episode 189 of the Strength Hammer podcast. It's just Chuck today, and I just finished cutting the lawn, which you'll see shortly. So decided not to come on camera, make myself pretty and all that. Didn't need to stress about that. But yeah, it's gonna be a short, different one this week. Scheduling conflicts got in the way as they do, as being an adult in life. So sometimes Warhammer podcasts become the thing that needs to be passed upon. But I didn't want to leave you guys without something for the week, and there's a little bit of news and stuff to talk about, and I have a tiny bit of a topic. I guess I'll waffle through. It's all good news, but yeah, out there. I hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, you can see the lovely Terathi on screen right now. But tell you what, let's not go too far out. I don't want to keep you guys from seeing this beautiful lawn. Boom, on screen. Yep. Lawns have been cut. It's that season for sure. Um Recently, I think I mentioned in the last podcast I had to get some teeth extracted, some wisdom teeth, which is I guess not fun but not terrible. The procedure went very well. The recovery was annoying. But yeah, like I couldn't work out for a week. Could not nearly eat enough food to feel like I had any energy. Couldn't eat any food I really wanted to. Um, but tell you what, plain yogurt and a scoop of protein powder got me by for my protein and my fat, and then my carbs was all mac and cheese. So yeah, if you ever have to go through that, that's what I recommend to get you through. But yeah, but regardless, not being able to work out, I couldn't do anything strenuous, so the lawn was a no-go for a week. But now, the lawn, as you can see, is nicely cut. It's fresh. I also re-tilled the garden because the grass was overtaking that. I might need to do it one more time, but I'm hoping to plant here soon. Um, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I'm happy to get the lawn in a nice stable state before I got to do some more detailed trimming, especially on those trees if you see on this picture here. But yeah, no, it was nice. It was good, and it's been beautiful weather here. Not too hot, not too cold, so can't ask for much more. Outside of that, though, I have gotten some hobby done. So there you go on screen, the two shrines I picked up for my daughter's cane army, the new train feature. Uh, I don't remember the name of them exactly, but there was two different builds for it. So I built both, painted them in the scheme of my army, because I didn't feel like magnetizing. I just wanted to get both options whenever I wanted. So they were fun. Um, if you've ever painted terrain, you kind of know what I mean. Like some terrain just sucks. Like if it's human terrain, it sucks. There's ropes, there's pulleys, there's all this little stuff here and there that so much detail, it's not fun. Whereas this, you could do a lot of detail. Like, if you look at the official one, it had like glowing runes and all that, but I wasn't in for that nonsense. Um, wasn't the style of my army, but you can see it's a very simple paint scheme from both, but both look very distinct, very different, and yeah, I'm very proud of both and putting them on the table. So yeah, happy to have those two knocked off my list for sure. And I am currently working on the what are they? I think Shadow Stalkers. I'm drawing a blank, and I shouldn't. I'm a Daughters of Cain super fan, but here we are. Can't remember my own army. Canet Shadow Stalkers. Yep, no, I had it right. Finishing those up, and then tackling the new unit of 20 to get those done. But heavy but. We'll see, because Holy Wars is up and coming, and we'll talk about that next week. Alex and I are prep for that event, and I'm not taking Daughters of Cain, surprisingly. My partner Brad is on a Sylvaneth love affair right now, so I will be partnering with him, taking my Living Cities army with the new Cities of Sigmar. Now, I don't need to paint anything outside of the terrain feature if I want to, which is on order for me. I picked up the book and the terrain feature. And on screen now, I did build a few models from that spearhead box that Alex and I split. He took the Skaven, I took the humans. I decided to get rid of the Grenadiers I didn't even know the rules. I just looked at them and said, they don't fit the theme of my army. Whereas the gallants on screen here and the priests did. So, um, got those built up. I might put them in a list. I might paint them. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go full human or human and elf while I still can for Holy Wars. Like I said, that's a topic for next week. But I got these built. And then once the terrain feature arrives, probably next week sometime, I'll get that built and kit bashed and primed as well. And hopefully my those Daughter's Cane in the back there are already done and cleared, so I can just focus on that in prep for the Holy Wars event. But still, good hobbies going. Can't really complain too much. So it's with that though, we'll switch over to some news. There's some news. If you're hiding underneath the rock, you did not know that there's a new edition of 40K coming. I bet pre-orders go up soon, if not already. This or next weekend, for a release end of June, early July. But new 40K, Warhammer TV down to Dallas Open, which I'm sad I was, asked to go, and then they didn't need me and all this sort of stuff, which no hard feelings there, but really wish it could have gone. But they did streams there Monday of the new editions of 40K, different levels of it. And I was originally going to watch it later. I couldn't watch it while it was live simply because it was Memorial Day. I had stuff to do. So I was like, oh, I'll come back and watch it later. So I opened up this web page you see on screen here and saw this Twitch video. I'm like, perfect, love it. And then I saw it was almost 13 hours. So I did not watch it. I did not want to sit through 13 hours of Warhammer 40K. I have a basic grasp of the game system itself, let alone the new stuff. So I will wait for someone to review this and watch their content on it, because I don't play 40K enough to be that invested to have to know right now. But they had some content creators, they had some top winning people, they had all this sort of stuff. And I do want to give a shout out here too. Actually, I think it should still be up. Not their articles, but their Warhammer TV, the subscription service, is doing a free battle report soon. Looks like it's just using the armies from the box plus a few extras to make them probably 2,000 point armies. But if it's definitely worth watching, and if you don't subscribe to Warhammer Plus, that's fine. I like it. I have found that it is worth it now with where they're at with it. But if you don't, this is still going to be free for you to watch. It might be on YouTube, or it might be you have to download the app and do all that. But they do a great job on their battle reports. Great visuals, great cuts, great edits. So I will watch this one, because this will probably be 40 minutes, 45 minutes for a whole game, and I'll probably learn more than I will in that 13-hour video where I'm lost and confused and zoning out because I'm bored. So definitely one to look out for whenever it goes up here in the near future. Oh, it looks like they have the lists up too. That is nice. But yeah, outside of that though, just a little bit of news here. A little bit. We don't need to do big fanfare. This isn't anything major. Yeah, it's a Slanesh is announced. I was honestly caught off guard. I saw this model here, which I don't love and I don't hate this model. I'm indifferent on it. Like, I don't hate the head option, but I wish there was an alternate version. Regardless, I saw this model as a post on Instagram from Warhammer community. So I liked it. I'm like, oh, that's neat. And I moved on. And I didn't read words. Why would I read words? It's social media. And then 2 days later, I see it. I'm like, oh yeah, let me take a look at this model, a little more detail. Maybe I'll like it a little bit better if I see different angles. And I'm scrolling, I'm looking, I'm like, okay, the back's nice. I do like the side profile a lot more. It's the front that looks a little wonky. And then it's like, oh, there's a book. I'm like, yes, that makes sense. Why is this a random Warhammer community article on what day was this even? The 25th of May. Yeah, just random Monday. Here you go. Here's a new book. It's coming out. Okay, like, Could have had a little more fanfare. Could have put this in a preview something, or just drop it randomly. Nice cover. Don't hate it, but yeah, it's new character, Lord of Hysteria, new battle tome, Mahina Slanesh. Hopefully, it's not a bad book. Yeah, lore, great. And then the new box forces. Which, hey, if you like mortals, this box right here is probably your key. And if you like demons, grab the spearhead. I'm mostly demons with mine. There's a few mortals I got, just ancillary along the way. But yeah, I was shocked that it was just a random. Oh yeah, actually, the cursed reflection. What's? I mean, that's just the endless spells and then one hero. Okay, sure. They did that. They did this with Lumineth. I guess that's just a way for them to get extra value out of their endless spells for the army. But yeah, new Hidden Slash coming. Great. I love it. Just weird that they just shadow dropped it like that. Honestly, that's the only downside. But yeah, that's that. And to be fair, that's the news, folks. Like there was a supplement for the Cities of Sigmar in regards to all the stuff that was cut because it's still viable until the next edition, essentially. And we'll look at that next week because that is part of my preview efforts for the upcoming Holy Wars. Because I'm mixing in some elves, I think, most likely. But yeah, we'll save that for next week. But yeah, um, I guess just to kind of waffle into the main topic, I want to kind of get this out there. This might become another future topic where I talk to Alex or anybody else about this too. But it's finding balance within your hobby, essentially. So if you follow me on social media at all, you know that my social media isn't trying to be an influencer. I'm not trying to garner any company's specific attention by promoting their products, that sort of stuff. Um, I'm just me. Now I love Warhammer. It's probably pretty obvious from the posts I put up. However, I also like other things: the Pokemon trading card game, retro video game collection and repair, lifting, amongst so many things. And I had this conversation recently with Alex, and apparently I am weird. I have a lot of hobbies. Like I do a lot of things. And I thought I'm like, am I abnormal? And he's like, yes, you are. But you know, from supporting Arsenal, which shout out Arsenal, Premier League champions. You know, so keeping up with football, keeping up with the local sports, Steelers, Pirates, Penguins, enjoying that. Um, Repairing old Game Boys and old technology, and playing retro games and collecting Pokemon TCG, and doing Street Fighter, and just not everything. This isn't about to talk about my other hobbies essentially, as a focus, but it's more about if once again, if you followed my social media for a while, you've probably seen that my my content, I guess, as we'll call it, hasn't been strictly focused on Warhammer and lifting. I know my name's Strength Hammer. That's who I am. That's what I do. Um, Actually, here, let me just on the fly, bringing it up here now. Boom, there we go. So yeah, my Instagram. You can see from the top here. So retro games, Pokemon TCG, Warhammer, retro modding, and just Stormcast Strong, Terra, all that sort of stuff. But if you look outside of the pin posts, obviously, but you can see my other interests just here. Retro video games, Arsenal, I guess, playing Warhammer of Alex, painting Warhammer, Pokemon TCG, obviously Taylor Swift, Pokemon. Just if you keep scrolling down, like this is just my life, which is fine. That's how I want to present myself on social media. But finding the balance as you have multiple hobbies like this is a challenge. And for a while there, part of me was feeling like not a fraud. I guess it's that whole I don't belong here type thing because my name's Strength Hammer, but this post doesn't scream Strength Hammer for sure, but it screams Chuck. But yeah, and there's been multiple times where I thought, like, oh, maybe I should change my name and yada yada. But I'm like, no, it's my name. Who cares? It's mine. Like, no one's arguing about it. The people that follow me are people that follow me and like me. But um, I've come to learn that trying to force my hobbies is never a good idea. Uh, for instance, painting these Daughters of Cain. Man, like I was so slow. I got them built. Obviously went to this event here, Fabricators Forge, um, and then just couldn't be arsed to really do more with it. Um, and then eventually, like I said, I was just like, I'm gonna just enjoy the TCG quite a bit right now, and then playing some retro games and just kind of just having fun. And there was probably 5 days where I didn't even touch a paintbrush, didn't do anything. You know, the only Warhammer content I consumed was Warhammer Weekly. Shout out to my friend Vince Venturella. I still love his stuff regardless. I'll always listen to his stuff, but like I wasn't done with Warhammer. I wasn't tired of Warhammer. It was more of I didn't want to do Warhammer at the time. I've been to club nights these past, every Wednesday, go to Warhammer Club Night. And my friends there share other interests too, but I wasn't forcing myself to play games. Like I played historical games. I bring models, but I didn't feel like playing. Like maybe I built something, maybe I painted something. A couple times I just took, my Switch too and just played video games and just chilled and had fun. But yeah, it's been nice not having to force anything. And with that understanding of not forcing hobby, which I mean everybody knows, don't force it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But I was happy that you know having a good group of friends around me and wonderful wife to support me. Like, hey, you're not interested in doing Warhammer right now. What are you interested in doing? Like, and just supporting that and being good friends and letting me hang out, watch Warhammer. you know, um, but with that too, I guess come I guess slightly more full circle on it is um recently like, oh, I kind of wanted to paint. I wanted to paint my shadow stalkers. So I started putting just one color on. That was one day. I put one color on. Next day I put another color on. Then the third day I put three colors on. And then today I'm literally finishing it up. So it kind of snowballed. And without having to force yourself to do any of your hobbies, it makes it more natural when you want to do it, and it makes it more exciting. So it's the same thing. Like I'm, you know, not going to be probably going to the card shop anytime soon for Pokemon TCG, but when I get back there, it's because I want to, and I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to Holy Wars as that's ramping up. So obviously that's something where like even if I don't feel like playing Warhammer, I'm going to play some Age of Sigmar because I want to be prepped and ready for the event. But that's an acceptable understanding. It's not like I'm absolutely, oh, I don't want to do this at all. It's okay, maybe it's not what I want to do, but something I know I need to do, and I will have fun doing it. Because it's in preparation for a great time with a great event. But that's just been the fun part is, kind of finding my limit on my hobbies, on how many hobbies can I have. Now, granted, if I didn't have to work, I could have probably a couple more hobbies in here and have great time, but then I couldn't afford them because I'm not working. But also things to say is like you have to take stock of where you're at with your different hobbies. If I take stock of my Warhammer, I'm probably close, if not at least 30 armies across 40k, 30k, Sigmar, Fantasy, Blood Bowl, Kill Team, Warcry Underworlds, you name it. I'm probably at 30 armies. So, do I need a new army? No, I did not need new Grand Cathay when that came out. No need. I had plenty. I could have just been like, I'm happy, I'm fine. But I wanted it, and I could afford it. Two important things. You have to also afford it, um, but it came naturally. And at this point too, I have Cathay, but I have the peasant box sitting here. I've opened it. I've looked at it. Didn't have the urge to do anything with it yet, and I don't need to because I can run a specific version of the army that doesn't require it. But I know the time will come where I'm glad I have this box. I know the time will come when I'm glad I have those extra Game Boys upstairs to repair, because the urge will strike, and not just like a whim of like, oh, I feel like doing it for a moment. It's like I'm talking, like doing something else in a couple days. It's in my mind. I'm like, I need to go do this. This is what I want, and it'll be exciting. It'll be thrilling. Um, but like I said, having to accept the fact that with so much time, money, and energy, um, I have to make sure I pick and choose what I want to do with which hobby. And it's okay to let some hobbies sit on the sideline for a little bit, especially when you have tons. If you're like me out there, please let me know in the comments too. If you have 3, 4, 5 hobbies, whatever it is, because it's hard to tell in the social media world of today. Everybody looks like they have one hobby, maybe two, and truth be told, that might be the case from what I'm hearing. And I know a lot of people out there don't have any hobbies, which is sad. Everybody go get a hobby. It's great. Make friends. Um, but sorry, jokes aside on that. Uh, yeah, I am curious. Like, where will this go? Like, and life is a flow. Life is a journey. I'm going to enjoy it. I don't need to be stuck in any sort of pattern of this is what I do, so this is the only thing I'm going to do because it's the thing like I've been told that I should do, or this is what everybody thinks I do. It's like, no, I'm going to do what I do and just put it out there. But there's no shame in letting something sit on the sidelines for a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of a I know it's a little bit of a ramble, but I still enjoy, even when I'm not in a Warhammer mood, sitting down here next to my Warhammer models. Sometimes tinkering is all I want to do. Something even within the Warhammer space. Sometimes you just want to build. Sometimes you just want to paint. Sometimes you just want to play. And all of that's perfectly good and viable. And you shouldn't need to force it, because there's no reason on that. Lifting, I'll say, is differently. You should do upper. You should do lower. You should do cardio. You need to do all those to have a healthy body. But I don't necessarily need to paint models personally right now. I don't necessarily need to play the game right now. I could just want to build models. I could just want to stare at models because I have tons. I'm very blessed to be in that situation. But it's still an odd place. I'm still feeling it out because, like, I scroll down my Instagram a little more even. Make sure Easter, but like, man, it's clear to tell what my hobbies are here. um, but yeah, let's get back to Terrath here. Boom. But yeah, outside of that though, it's I'm curious what's going to happen too, because I went to the Fabricators event. That excited me a little bit. Like, Daughters Kane had me excited to go to that event, and it got me back excited to get that stuff done and get that built and put it on my hobby table. I'm curious what going to Holy Wars is going to do, because that is an exceptional event. That is just the top. Well, Holy Wars, Holy Havoc, the top narrative event in the United States, hands down, and definitely one of the top in the world, without question. I've been trying. I should have been back a couple years ago, but couldn't make it. Someone took my place. It was all good. But I'm excited to go this year. I'm also excited to get some Portillos. I can't tell you how excited I am for some Chicago style hot dogs. But yeah, I'm curious what it's gonna be like on the other side of that. Like, it's gonna be a great guys' weekend, playing some Warhammer, just casually having fun. Who cares if I win or lose? That's the mentality we're going with. But I get to hang out with my friends, talk Warhammer, talk other things too. We'll probably play some Commander. I'm gonna take my Commander deck out. Um, but what's the other side of that look like? Will I be jazzed up? Will I be like, oh man, I don't want to touch anything else. I don't want to play a retro video game right now. Like, I want to go paint all my Warhammer. I want to get this Grand Cathay done for whatever reason. But that, like I said, that's the ebbs and flows of life, really. Um, and with, I guess, with that all said too, the other aspect is, even though I don't want to force my hobby, if I found myself bored near my hobby desk, I would pick up a brush. No intentions to do more than a single stroke, or maybe a single color and a single model. Um, but I didn't want to let myself be bored for no reason, so it was nice seeing paint flow. Like I wasn't hating it, obviously, and I wasn't like shying away from it, but it was nice to fill that gap that was suddenly there. So, we'll see. We'll see. Like like it can work with anything, but um, keeping momentum sometimes is even just like a little pebble rolling along, like you're kicking that little stone, as you're taking that little walk. So, um, don't force it, but also don't be shy that if you find yourself bored to, hey, why don't I just try and see if I feel like it? Because like, if I did a single brush stroke and it's like I don't want to do this, I'd put that brush down right away and walk away. But that was never the case because it is something I like, even if it's not my focus. And as I said, it's okay for your focus to shift to other hobbies. You're still a Warhammer player. You can still love your army. Um, so yeah, everybody out there, let me know what your hobbies are. Have you ever felt this? You ever feel like a fraud because you're not doing your Warhammer, and people think you're a Warhammer only person? It's like, no, we're all very different and varied in our preferences and styles. But the nice thing is Warhammer's the thing that unites us. I have my different groups where Pokemon TCG is what unites me, or the retro stuff unites us, and that's okay. Sometimes it crosses, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, shorter episode for sure. I hope you've all enjoyed this little ramble. Something I just kind of wanted to get off my chest a little bit, because it's not stopping. Like I have other things in the works that aren't Warhammer, and you guys will see that online without question. But just know that I'm still doing Warhammer. Warhammer's not going away. Like I love doing this podcast weekly, which is why I'm doing it alone right now. Um, and if you've never done that, just sit in front of a mic in front of your PC and try to record yourself talking for at least 30 minutes. It's hard, but I do it because I love it, and I like sharing with you guys what's going on. So listen, comment below. Let me know. I'd love to actually talk in the comments maybe on this video, since I don't have anyone to bounce off of here right now. But if you let me know what your hobbies are. Um, Let me know how you split your hobbies. Like, do you ever put a hobby on a shelf for a while, even if you're not realizing it? I just want to know. I'm curious. And like, what do you do? Do you just let it? Have you forced getting back into a specific hobby, and it worked, or has it backfired completely? But comments below on the YouTube. And yeah, I guess until next time, stay Stormcast strong, happy hobbying, and like I said, promise next time, lots of Holy Havoc preparation talk. All right, everybody, take care. Bye.